last 10 years that I've been in tech as both an employee as well as an employer as a software engineer, there's really only been one thing that's contributed to me making more money, and it has nothing to do with my coding skills or technical skills in general. Today in this video, what I want to do is talk about what that one particular thing is, such that every single software engineer watching this video can learn what that is to be able to make more money. But not only from a monetary perspective, but rather to position yourself such that you have a better lifestyle in general. Now, keep in mind, where I'm coming from is, as I said before, from an employee as well as an employer. So I went from a junior to a manager in about 3 years' time, making total compensation of about $250,000 a year, to now having a B2B consulting firm down here in LA, making pretty much that amount in a month. And the biggest takeaway thus far has been about the concept that I like to call framing. Now, you've probably heard of this before. If not, a synonymous way to think about it is sort of positioning. But what I want to do is tell you that it's going to be different than what you've probably heard before or what you think you know about what it actually means. You see, when people think of framing, their first immediate thing is, okay, so he's kind of talking about how to fluff up your resume such that you look as good as possible. But that's not necessarily what I mean by framing. Framing at its core for a software engineer is a lot more than just your resume. Framing is understanding first and foremost who you are going to be talking with in the first place. Meaning, in order to frame yourself properly, you need to understand the individual you're talking with, because they're going to tell you what is important and what is not. If I'm talking to a non-technical stakeholder, then I know I need to frame myself as more of somebody who understands the non-technical side more so than the technical side, because I need to speak their language. This kind of sounds like a social chameleon, but don't think of it that way. Framing really has to do with understanding what the other person values and putting yourself in that frame of, I can get that done. So let me explain how this contributed to me making a significant amount of money in a 9-to-5 environment. I went from a junior to a manager in less than 3 years. That is an extremely quick promotion cycle. And frank to be told, when I was a manager, I was managing other senior developers who had 10 years, 20 years of experience, obviously meaning they were way better than me technically. But the only reason that I was managing them instead of vice versa is because of the frame that I had put myself in. I realized that a manager, to be able to lead other people, right, has to value certain skills over technical skills. So I had to frame myself as somebody who would be able to do that. I would need to frame myself as somebody who understood the communication skills, who was able to properly utilize resources, manage teams, because that's what a manager does. And as a direct result, I was promoted to that particular level. Now, did this just come out of thin air? Did I just flick my fingers and all of a sudden I'm a better communicator and I'm a better manager? No, obviously. To frame yourself, if you're not there yet, you obviously have to work on yourself, but it is not nearly as difficult as people make it out to be. It's not like you have to learn a new tech stack or you have to do something completely different. No, the biggest thing about framing is fundamentally it's a mindset shift, because every single software engineer has the innate skills or already has enough years of experience such that they've built up the skills necessary to do exactly what they sought out to do. And it's really a matter of understanding how to position themselves to unlock that opportunity. So, case in point, something that pretty much every single software engineer I've spoken with does not do this, and yet it will tremendously help them, be it in the 9-to-5 environment or be it in the entrepreneurship world. And that is how you talk, the words that you use. How much technical jargon do you use in your day-to-day sentences? When you're talking to a non-technical stakeholder, are you talking more about the technicality of things? Or are you talking more about how the certain thing you do impacts money or time? One small change in your speech, be it in your daily stand-ups, be it in your in-person meetings, just one small change, understanding who am I speaking with? Am I speaking to another developer or am I speaking to a stakeholder? By just adjusting the words that you use and going from a technical jargon to more talking about business talk and value created and things like that will make a tremendous difference in your day-to-day life. And I don't, once again, only mean from a career perspective on making more money. I mean, generally having a lot more freedom as a software engineer outside of your career, because it's going to fall into every other aspect of your life, whether you want it to or not. So one of the quickest ways that you can actually get promoted, or you can actually land a client in a business environment, because two are actually very close in parallel together, it's simply by just changing the way you speak. And the first way about that comes from understanding who you're speaking to then you can adjust the words that you're going to use. And by simply adjusting the words that you use, you already frame yourself for a particular person as the expert. So if I'm a software engineer, but I'm speaking to a non-technical stakeholder from the lens of, oh, you know, this costs this much money, or this makes you lose this much time, or this is what's making the efficiency of your team so bad. If I can speak in that language, then I'm framing myself as somebody who understands what they're doing. If I'm framing myself as somebody who understands what they're doing and they know I'm already a software engineer, I know the technical side of things, I don't need to prove anything to them. I am the right man for the job. Deal closed then and there. From a promotion perspective, if I'm a junior, I want to get to senior. If I'm a senior, I want to get to principal. I need to know who am I speaking to, who is going to be in charge of that decision, and all I have to do is simply use the words that they value. So if my direct manager is in charge of me being promoted to, let's say, a senior, and for him, a senior engineer means somebody who can take on responsibility, somebody who can be efficient, somebody who can do certain things, then all I have to do is find out exactly what he's thinking, and I can just ask, because frankly, if you just ask, people will tell you. And then I have to position myself in that particular way by utilizing the proper words, carrying myself in a proper way to fill in that particular frame. And that's really all there is to it. Obviously, you can talk about this topic for days, right? There's so much that goes into it, it's minute details, and it's a very deep niche where you can go into it a lot. But for the sake of today's video, I don't want it to be anything complicated. I just need you to take the first step in understanding that framing or positioning is the one skill that will make you more money as a software engineer. And frankly, it is the only skill from that perspective that you really need to master, because not only will it help you in your 9-to-5 career progression if you want to go that route, but it will significantly help you in your business, more so in business really. But it is an extremely important skill. It's going to trickle down to all your other aspects of life, dating, relationships, personal relationships, health, everything else, because of what it does to you and how you think about every single interaction with another human being. And since all opportunities really stem from other human beings, the way you frame and position yourself to others makes a fundamental difference on whether or not they're going to give you a particular opportunity or they're going to support you in what it is that you are doing. So be it getting funding for whatever it is you want to do, be it getting a client for your first business, be it trying to get a promotion, be it trying to move on to a better job, all these things have to do with frame and how you position yourself. So as a software engineer, the best thing you can do right now is focus more on how to actually frame yourself such that you can do a better job. And if you're interested in watching a deeper breakdown on how to actually frame yourself as a software engineer, you can watch this video right here. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good rest of your day.